Well, howdy, howdy, howdy. Nearly Senior Citizen here. Greetings, boys and girls, and welcome to this, another brand new day. I have running around on my leg, my leg. I was going to say lap and then leg, and somehow my voice box got all confused. A little Gojira. I was making noise and scrabbling around in her cage, but she wasn't coming out of her mason jar. And then, just as I was starting to record and do sound checks, out she ran. Well, she didn't run, but out she came. So I picked her up, and now I'm showing her off. I'm going to put her back in her cage, but she is a sweetheart, an absolute little sweetheart of a rodent. I mean, she is soft and warm and fuzzy and alive. She's very well behaved. She's walking sideways on my hand today, but that's okay. I'm going to put her back in her cage, though, because she will likely be much more happy running around inside of a cage than running around on top of me. There we go. Thank you very, very much. She is a sweetheart. Very good little hamster. Very cool. A good thing. Oh boy. It's a good thing that I slept last night. I mean, I took a lot of various meds and tablets and such. I take iron tablets for my anemia, and because that helps with restless leg syndrome symptoms, that's the word. And I take a vitamin D tablet. I took potassium. I ate a bunch of bananas. I took I took my half methadone tablet on top of a melatonin, yeah, melanin skin, melatonin, that sleep hormone. I took that as well as some other stuff. It's like I wanted to make sure I slept. And I slept. I went to bed about midnight. I mean, I was in bed, lights out, and trying to go to sleep at midnight. And even though it wasn't altogether easy getting to sleep, there was no anxiety, it was just winding down. But then I fell asleep and I woke up when my alarm went off because I wanted to take a shower. I am freshly showered and scoured and boiled and all that, so it's a good thing. I mean, I'm never nasty or gooky or anything like that when you see me on non-shower days, because I sponge bathe. You know, I take a washcloth and I wash under my arms and all the various other problem bits on the human body. So I'm clean, it's just my hair is the biggest issue. But I slept well, and that was good, so I'm feeling pretty good today. But yesterday, oh boy, because I slept like maybe 45 minutes maximum. And just like 2 days before that, I'd only gotten 15 minutes worth of sleep. You know, last night I was just exhausted, which amazingly, I don't know how I got 4 videos done, but I did. And so, thumbs up for that. But I tried to go for it was going to be just a walk downtown and then walk back sort of thing, because I need to exercise. And even though I was not feeling all that good, when I feel exhausted from lack of sleep, I just feel stretched tight like the skin of a drum. And I had that feeling on top of everything else, just batteries not recharged and weak, fatigue. But I pushed, and I actually got about halfway to Walmart and then walked back. It wasn't oh, I can't go any further. It was well, I'm not going to walk that far. I'll walk to here. And oh, that was a big lag spike. I sure hope that doesn't ruin the video. But I was already set up in mind, I'm going to walk to this place and then I'll walk back. And that was almost too far. At first, I was going to take the loop up to add a mile onto it and then walk and then add the loop back. I didn't put a loop on either side and I barely made it back. My batteries were just out. So I just came in here, collapsed. I tried to play some video games. I tried to watch some videos, and eventually it was just, I gotta head to bed. I just, ugh. So, and then I slept. So it's a good thing. And I know I don't talk about anything exciting most of the time, except when I go off on weird little mini rants. But I just talk about my life and the stuff happening in my life. And my life is boring right now. I mean, I've done exciting things in my life, but right now my life is small. It's very, very small. I mean, my life is essentially my bedroom over there where I sleep at night, and then it's here. And it's everything I own is like either in here and on display, or to my side so I can play with it, or is just in a box in my bedroom. I have a very, very tiny little life right now, and so yeah, it's kind of boring, and I'm sorry about that. I'm still just putting myself together and trying to get myself put back together. I'm about 25% of the way. I have put my own psyche back together, and I think I've been doing a pretty good job of it. But I'm about 25% of the way. And my memory's getting better and things are good. And oh, I'd had a subject that I wanted to talk about and I just almost remembered it. And now, because I didn't immediately start talking about it, it's sort of faded away. Gosh, I wonder if I can remember what that was, because there's a lot of heavy-duty subjects. In fact, here's one. This is one I wanted to talk about, and it's something that it's going to affect everybody. When you hit a certain age in your life, you will realize that you are starting to hear a drum beat. It is a death march drum beat. The first time that I ever realized that there was a real drum beat going on, it was less than 10 years after I graduated from high school, and one of my high school friends was already dead from an it was a motorcycle accident. And then I really started to hear the drum beat when Isaac Asimov, the science fiction writer, and Robert Heinlein, the science fiction writer, two people I really admired as writers, both died by 1992. And the older you get, and the more that people that you've admired your whole life, because they were doing things that you read or watched, movies or TV, you watched them as a kid, and then you grew up, and then you're an adult, and then they die. And I've had that happen so much. Very few people that I grew up watching or reading are left alive anymore. And people that I know have been dying. Celebrities die. Everybody's dying. Not everybody, of course, and it's not a big plague. It's just, you really hear that drum beat, that death march drum beat. It gets louder and louder. And then the older you get, as more and more people drop off, that drum beat just gets louder and louder and louder in your ears every day, until one day, of course, it stops. I hear that drum beat pretty loud every single day, which is fine. We all have to confront our own mortality. Usually, I'm okay with things, but I've mentioned before that life, you can take a look at the various parts of keeping your psyche together as like either a bunch of spinning plates on poles, or just a bunch of dials with needles, or just a digital display where you've got to keep the numbers at a certain level, and you just go through and you've got 100 of these things, and whenever one of the things starts to go down, you just go over and you press the button until the number goes back up. But the thing is, you can only press a limited number of these things at a time. And so while you're taking care of these things here, like I'm taking care of my social life here, other parts of your life are starting to fade because you're putting a lot of attention onto this. So you've got to stop on that to go work on your other things, because if they start to fall too low, they're going to drag the other dials down too. Because your social gets down too low, people are going to start not wanting to be around you. And that's going to affect other parts of your life. So you got to try and keep everything balanced. Spend a little bit of time on all the dials instead of a lot of time on one or two. But that's hard, and life is life. I can't remember where I was going on that particular mini one, but still, point being, well, if only I could remember things. I am doing better as stated, but my fibromyalgia and even more makes it difficult to remember things. Gotten a lot better, but well, I do know that I was talking about the whole Death March drum beat. I just can't remember the exact reason I went off on that one particular rant. I am still, of course, I have a sleep deficit decades deep, because of course when you miss out on sleep, it doesn't just fade away. If you lose an hour's worth of sleep on Monday, on Friday you're still dragging because you're behind an hour. You've missed out on an hour of sleep. It's still dragging you down. And if you add more times where you don't get enough sleep on top of that, you get a sleep deficit. You can have 8-10 hours that you'd have to make up, because your body keeps a tally of that such, and you've got to work off your sleep deficit. I've got a sleep deficit about a decade deep, so I'm always tired. I'm always exhausted no matter what. But that's okay. It happens. One day I'm actually going to start writing things again. I'm always on the very cusp of being able to, and yet there's time and energy is the big one right now, because like last night, the only time that I had to write in a chunk would have been the time that either I got back from walking or would have had to stop doing something else. So I'm gonna have to try and work some time in there, because when I wake up and get in here, you know, I get wake up time and then I start recording and editing and uploading, well, rendering and uploading, and then that's almost noon. So I've got a little bit of time to watch some videos and do some stuff, and then I'm recording and editing and rendering for my second daily video. And usually I have enough stuff going that becomes a two-part thing, one for the next day. But then I've still got a video that I do for the next part of the day. Same thing. That's a good 3-hour chunk of time for each one. By the time I'm done, it's like 6 o'clock. And I still have to go walkies. I need to keep exercising. I mean, with my cardiovascular system, I have no idea how much damage has been done by just the massive amount of sugar that I've eaten, especially in the past, well, during the entire marriage with my wife, and then especially since her death, I have had mass sugar intake, and that's really bad for you. And with the methadone, opiates that I've been on for over 10 years, I don't know how much damage that's done, so I gotta keep exercising. I gotta keep my body as healthy as possible. And then when I'm back, because of my fibro, I don't have a full charge on my rechargeable batteries. I only get like 50% on a good day. So I've got no time during the day, except if I stop watching videos or playing games, then I can write. But then I'm really squeezing maximum production out of everything, with leaving me no time to actually relax until I go to bed. And that'll really drain my batteries hard. So I gotta figure out something, some way, but we'll get there, because I gotta get writing. I got all sorts of stuff that I have to get written. I got good stories and bad stories and evil stories, but all sorts of stories that I want to tell and get out, so that they're not just in my head. And that'll be good. And then hopefully maybe I can sell one or two of them. That would be cool, because I'm always really hurting for cash. I mean, I don't want to end up not being able to pay for my home and end out on the street. I always want to be able to eat. I'm really worried about that part right now, because I'm minus, the last time I looked, I was minus 350 in my checking account. So that's going to come right off the top out of my disability. So I'm not even going to have enough money to pay the rent out of my disability. So hopefully I'm going to get enough money out of my Patreon thing going on to get my rent paid. And then hopefully I'll have enough money to get food. So yeah, that's life. I just don't want to be homeless. I don't want to starve. I don't want to not be able to feed my pets. I'm trying to do the best I can. And that's why I make videos, as well as putting my psyche together. But I try to do as much as I can, and I'm still got other projects I need to get done, but I'm working on them. And I've opened up 24 hours worth of comments in my community tab, and I'm going to go through and thank 20 to 25 people for having left me a comment. Whether it's a good comment, a bad comment, and a different comment, the fact is somebody left me a comment. Thank you very much. Now, I'm not reading them right now. I'm going to read them later. Thumbs up each one I do, answer as many as I can. But for right now, I'm just thanking you for having left a comment. If I mispronounce a username, no disrespect is intended. I am an American English speaker. We're just not good at that sort of thing. And even though I count an American Sign Language on the fingers of this hand because of my fibro, depression, sleep deficit, that's the word I was looking for, and more, I've gotten a lot better at being able to remember, but it's still really, really hard. And of course, I don't know if there's an of course, so I might have said it all. Whoa! I'll try and speak English now. I'm opening up my Chrome. Truly Uli, thank you very much. Casper the Friendly Ghost Blats, thumbs up and thank you. David, greatly appreciated. A whole bunch of question marks, thank you very, very much. QP_Minecraft with an exclamation point pro, thank you very much. And Sebastian Ferris, greatly appreciated. Luca Wren, thumbs up and thank you. Bunzy, greatly appreciated. Elliot Tharm Music, greatly appreciated. Soul Elevation 96, thumbs up. Elliot, nope, just said that one. Sorry about that. Was going to say your name twice, but thank you very much, even though. Alex White, I don't know. I now I've gotten lost. Alex White, thank you much. SMKA, greatly appreciated. Memes, thumbs up and thank you. Isaac Delaney, there we are. Thumbs up and thank you very, very much. Lewisner, thumbs up and thank you. AJ AOJKKKAIN, thumbs up and thank you. Evelyn Dominguez, greatly appreciated. Champion Green, thumbs up. Paladin Walliam, greatly appreciated. Chris with an apostrophe, thumbs up and thank you very much. Paul Smith, greatly appreciated. Marcella, thumbs up and thank you. And last but not least, Russian Timing. Woof! I've had difficulties trying to read names and speak proper English or even improper English. I've had difficulties just trying to use language. If you could check out my various links, I have Twitter, Facebook, GoFundMe, Patreon.com, NearlySeniorCitizen.com. If you could donate to my GoFundMe campaign or become a Patreon.com patron like one of these beautiful and awesome people, that would be beautiful and awesome. I need all the financial help I can get this month. If you could help, that would be very, very cool. Now, if you cannot donate or you simply do not donate, I do take all good wishes and I deposit them in the bank of my heart. So thank you very much. Do not feel obligated to contribute or help. You know, I do not feel entitled. It's just thank you if you do. If you can toss me a like, both hands. I do appreciate all the positive validation I get from my existence. Definitely thumbs up. And if you could subscribe to the channel, that would be very cool. Greatly appreciated. I would understand if you didn't want to. I mean, I've barely been able to speak words, let alone English words. So thumbs up for that. I would understand if you didn't want to subscribe, but if you are down with it, I will do my very best to keep you entertained from now to the literal end of time. This back here, most people are good, but wow, some are the exact opposite. I was just watching Leonard French do a readout on some very, very bad people, and they were just, oh my gosh, horrific people. They're going to be spending at least 12 some odd years in prison for copyright trolling. Anyway, you take care. Have a great day today. I will see you on the flip side, my friend, and that is a very good thing. I've got this video coming up. I've got nothing else planned at the moment, so I need to get moving, don't I? Take care.